Right. So, and before that, let me give you a disclaimer. I have nothing to do with the Bollywood, whatever's happening in the Bollywood. So this Get High is different from that Get High. All right. So, can I share my screen? Is that okay? Do I have the rights?
Yes, ma'am. You are also the co-host. You can do that.
Okay. Awesome. So just give me a moment so that I can share that. Yes. So before we, deep dive into the topic, let me ask you a question. How would you feel if you accomplish a task with great speed, efficiency, and finesse? And how would it be if you achieve something that you thought you could not achieve? And how would it be for you if you keep getting consistently better at what you do? How would that be for you? I'd like to, see some answers in the chat. Yeah, just wow. Absolutely, Venki. Yes. Yes. So yeah, I assume you would feel on top of the world, right? About your own self. You will feel proud. You will feel happy and experience a sense of accomplishment, right? Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Perfect. Yeah. So you get a kick and you feel high and mighty about your own self, don't you? So when you achieve whatever you want to achieve and whatever goals that you've set for yourself, you surely get high about your own self. So that is what is Get High all about, and that is what I have written as well on to Get High. Because these days I think everybody likes to get high and have their own ways and means to get high, but I thought this on getting high on performance is the best way for you to feel good about your own self. So this aspect can be about your individual performance or your business performance as well, so that is what will give you a super duper kick about your own self. So we are talking so much about high performance. So, but why high performance, right? Tell me, is there anybody who doesn't want high performance?
No.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Because these days, everybody wants high performance, be it individuals, be it organizations, everybody wants to be a high performer in their own domain and, want to be a leader. So that being the case, everybody wants to get high performance. So that is why I say, why high performance? So like Simon Sneak says, we should always start with why. Why is it that you as an individual or, you as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a business head, why is it that you want high performance, right? So define your own why so that you have the required clarity on why you want to go about achieving it. So we are speaking so much about high performance, but what is high performance? What do you think is high performance? I'd like to see some comments in the chat. What is your definition of high performance? Raising the bar. Very good, Giri. Exceeding standards. Super. Yeah. Going above the benchmark, exceeding expectations, living up to your potential, exceeding expectations. Yes. Perfect. Absolutely. You all got it right. So if I were to give it a definition, utilizing your resources to the best. Excellent answer. Yes. So if you were to give it a sort of a definition, how I say is achieving superior results by performing at a high standard as per targets that you're setting for your own self. So the beautiful aspect of high performance is you just need to see how you are able to get better at what you do. There's no point, in comparing yourself with competition and, seeing, oh, this person has achieved so much, this business, has huge turnover. But if you were to work on improving your own self and raising your bar, like somebody had exactly mentioned, so once you are able to, get to that path and keep growing yourself consistently, that makes a huge difference. So that is what is high performance, where you're focusing on what you are doing. That is the key of high performance. So I'm sure most of you are into business. So why does a business exist? I'd like to hear from you. Why does a business exist? Absolutely, Ram. You've already attended my session before, so I'm not surprised to get that yet. But Suresh, yes, I like that. Yes. Need, demand, all that. Yes. Venki and Ram got it absolutely right. A business exists to make money. right? End of the day, a business is not meant for charity, because if you want to do charity, you might as well run an NGO or, not for profit organization. So if the core of a business is to make profits. So what I say is, it's high performance that leads to high profits. And how is it that you are able to make your business get better? So what is it that you can do that's within your control, that you can grow and improve your business, and peak the potential of what your business is capable of? So where does one focus, and how can one go about achieving it? That is something important. So in order to achieve the high performance, right, I say there are three key ingredients, right? So that is your business performance, your leadership performance, and your financial performance. Now, if these three things are together and intact, that will lead you to grow much more, and scale better heights and reach whatever potential your business has, and thereby grow and scale your business the way that you want. So if we were to deep dive into these three, so let me call them as B, L, and F. B is for your business performance, L is for your leadership performance, and F is your financial performance. So B, the business performance, right? So what is it that is under your control is what you can control. Now, things that are beyond your control, like for example, the lockdown, the pandemic, and things like that are totally out of your control, right? But whatever is under your control for your business, you can definitely see what can be done there so that your business is able to grow further. But having said that, there are common challenges that sometimes come in the way of maximizing the potential and maximizing the growth. It could be your individual growth, your business growth, whatever, whichever area that you are looking and seeking high performance. There are some challenges that could come in the way. What is that? So I'm just going to touch upon two challenges under each of these and see how and what you can do as a business owner or as an entrepreneur, and how is it that you can overcome this. So first, under business performance, the key is to have a purpose. Purpose is something that's very important, because purpose is everything at the end of the day, and purpose is what translates into action, and the actions is what will lead you to high performance, which will translate to higher profits. So purpose, what is the purpose that your business is solving? What is the purpose your business exists, and what is it that your business is doing to make the lives better, and what is your USP, unique selling point of your business? So these are questions that you need to ask yourself and see what can be done. So on the purpose, recently I was coaching an entrepreneur, a second generation entrepreneur who runs a huge organization. And when we were having our coaching conversation going, I realized that this person does not have any purpose for the business. And there were no values. There was, the vision, mission, none of it was stated. Now, if you were to take inspiration from larger organizations, take Google, for example. Google says our company's mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. If you were to take Kellogg's, Kellogg says our purpose is to nourish families so that they can flourish and thrive. And if you were to take Nike, for instance, it says to bring inspiration and innovation in every athlete in the world. And if you have a body, you are an athlete. So by defining the purpose statement, an organization is able to connect not only with its stakeholders, shareholders, employees, and customers, but everybody who's together working on it has a clear path and going together in the journey. And that is what makes it important. Now, sometimes people tell me, oh, mine is a very small business and I don't have a purpose, or the purpose is to just make money. But then, take mine. I mean, mine is a very small organization. So it's my mission is to enable, empower, and elevate businesses that will result in high performance and high profits. So, and my focus areas are business finance, high performance, and leadership. So if you are able to define and get to your niche, then it makes it a lot easier for you to relate with your customers, connect with your customers, give directions to your teams so that everybody is together in it and on the same page and When everybody is together, the power and the unity is a lot better. That helps you to raise standards and raise your bar. So, essential to set your purpose. So, what is your purpose, my friends? Think through that and have it clearly defined. The second thing that I want to touch upon is the fear aspect. Now, fear is common. Of course, we are all humans. We definitely have fear. Fear is probably something that also propels us to take actions. But having said that, fear also can come in your way, and sometimes it does not help you to take actions. Being a coach, let me give you another example of another client. She was a lady, a French lady who lives in Singapore. She's already an entrepreneur, and she was wanting to start another business. But just when she was wanting to start, she had this fear, the fear of failure, and she didn't know if her customers would accept the fact that, she was doing another business, which was leaning towards spirituality. So she had a lot of phobia in her, and this fear factor was preventing her from getting started with the new line of business. And this didn't make her feel good. She was like, upset with herself. And this fear was kind of eating her up, because mentally she said, no, I want to do this. But this fear was coming in her way. So the only way to overcome this is to get over the fear. Now, in the coaching conversation I had with her, we went through multiple rounds, and then finally she was able to release this fear. And that, feeling that she got was, she became so emotional and she was so happy that she just, needs to go ahead and get herself started on the business, because otherwise this was just eating her up. And when she, again, going back to her purpose, she realized she had a purpose to help and serve the people around her from a spiritual aspect as well. So you see, the purpose and the fear factor come in together. The fear, again, it actually restricts you, because everybody, when they are in their comfort zone, they are very happy and nobody wants to step out of the comfort zone. But magic happens when you step out of your comfort zone. So are you ready to step out of the comfort zone? Because if you want high performance, high profits, you need to step out of the comfort zone. So what are you doing to step out of your comfort zone? I'd like you to think through that, so that you're able to take necessary actions and have the required magic to go and fetch your desired results. So, to sum it up on the business performance, two important things: your purpose, and to step out of your comfort zone and ensure that factors like fear and other things do not come in the way of your high performance of your business. So the second thing that I said, we said BLF. So the second thing is the leadership performance. An organization is only as successful as its leader, and the leader is only as successful as their teams. So leadership becomes a very crucial thing, because the leader is the one that connects the results, the performance, and the teams together, and leader leads by example. So again here, let me give you two challenges and like how you can overcome them. So the first thing is, again, let me take you back to another real life example. I was coaching an entrepreneur from Pune, and his challenge that he felt was, I'm the only guy who owns the business. I'm the only one who takes a decision, and there is no external perspective. All my team, my men are all yes men, and they just go ahead and say yes to whatever I say, irrespective of the fact my decision is right or wrong, or even if there is a way something can be done better. There's nobody who can throw an external perspective to me, and there is no person who can challenge me, challenge my views, or challenge my decisions and actions, and thereby I feel I'm stagnating. And he said, as a business leader, the leader of my own business, I feel I'm not being performing to my own potential, and thereby the business is also suffering. It's been stagnating and it is not growing. Now this was his challenge. So, and I realized that uh, there is, entrepreneurs sometimes tend to feel very lonely when it comes to their own the business aspect, because if you do not have a sounding board or an accountability partner, then you're sometimes just caught up in your own cocoon, and thereby the growth becomes a bit of a challenge. So you need to break out of this cocoon and see what can be done. The second aspect is I'd like to talk to you about is A common thing again that I find is on delegation. Again, I was coaching another entrepreneur, and he had his family, and the family was always complaining because this guy was working 24 by 7 and didn't have sufficient time for the family. And not that he was minting money either. Of course, he was making good money, but considering the time and effort that he was putting into the business, his results were not in proportion. And to make it worse, the family was also not happy with him. So during our coaching conversation, what transpired to him was something amazing. He realized he had a beautiful team, a very talented team, but leaders tend to have this ego. And he realized that his ego actually prevented him from delegating the tasks, because he felt nobody else can do it as perfectly as him, and nobody else is that efficient or capable. And as a result, he was not delegating anything to his team and had the entire responsibility on his own shoulders. That was actually eating up his time. Now, once he realized this, he started delegating more. And as he was delegating, he realized he was actually getting a lot more time on his hands, and he was able to lead his life the way that he wanted. So, on the leadership performance, two things again is to have an accountability partner and ensure that you're able to manage your time better, so that you can lead a holistic and well life that's filled with a lot of wellness. So that is important on the leadership performance. Now we said B, L, and F. So B is the business performance, L is the leadership performance, and F is your financial performance. End of the day, all businesses, everything is driven by finance, in the sense we are always measuring what is the turnover, what is the margin, how much are the profits, how much is the cash, and so on. And therefore finance becomes very important and very crucial. Having said that, I have also noticed many entrepreneurs, what they do when it comes to finance, they say, oh, it's the responsibility or the headache of my accountant or my auditor, and I'm just going to be signing wherever I'm supposed to sign. So as long as they get some money in their hands, they are very happy with it, but do not get involved in the basics of finance. Now, my question to you, my friends, is whose business is it? It's your business, and therefore it's your money, and you need to be under full control of the finance. While you can have your accountant, your auditor, or a coach or a mentor, whoever it is, advising you, or even your advisor, which is fine, but you are left with decision making. The decision ultimately is yours. While you can hear everybody else, you can hear them out. The decision is yours because it's your business, it's your money, and therefore the onus is on you. So, extremely essential for you to take good control and good charge of your financial situation. So, let me again quote you with a real life example. Recently, just last month, and an entrepreneur rushed to me and he was like, I'm having a huge cash crunch. Now, this guy was actually a very successful entrepreneur for the last 5 years, and he was running two different verticals of business, and he was doing extremely well. But now, obviously, with the pandemic and the lockdown and everything, his business was facing a huge cash crunch. And not only that, there was lower demand, heavy competition from cheaper products, and he had a lot of loans that had to be paid off. And as a result, this guy was having sleepless nights because he didn't know how he was going to pay the next month's salaries, the next month's bills, and the dues. And he just wanted to bail himself out of the cash crisis. And you know what he thought he should do? He wanted to take further loans. And even when he wanted to take further loans, he didn't know how much loan he should actually be taking. He wasn't sure at it. So he came to me and he said, what do I do? And as a high performance business coach, I first made him understand and realize that the first he needs to understand his cash position. Because without fixing that, and if you were to keep taking loan after loan, it'll just probably make his situation worse, because you need to get to the root cause of the problem. So I got him to prepare his cash forecast for the next 6 months and the projections to see, and for him to take stock and assess his cash requirements. Now there was something that beautiful that came out. When he prepared his cash situation, his business was actually cash positive. So where was the money going? Most of his money was used to repay his personal housing loan, because the analysis revealed that despite the cash surplus that he had, all the money was getting sucked out for the loan repayment of his personal house. And this is yet another classic and common mistake that entrepreneurs do. While the business is yours, legally, entity wise, it is not the same as you. So you are a different as an individual, and the business is different from you. Legally, it's two different entities. So the common mistake that most entrepreneurs do is they do not pay themselves. They do not take a salary and they mix the personal finance with business finance, thinking everything to be one, which results in them living a life much beyond their means. And this was exactly what had happened here as well. And this entrepreneur then started, understanding his mistakes and taking remedial actions. And not only that, his cash, a lot of cash was also stuck with his customers because they were not in a position to pay him, and he hadn't followed up on his older dues. And all of that put together, his cash position was not at the best of it. So just to for you to remember easily, let me give you an acronym. If you were to look at cash as an acronym, C is to collect on time. A is to anticipate your inflow and outflow so that you can plan your financial position better. S is to systematically monitor your cash position. And H is the habit of creating reserves. Now, I have always been insisting upon this, and I'm sure you would agree that during times like these, having a reserve helps tremendously. So remember that acronym and play that for your business. So this guy, his cash issue, he tried to resolve in the various ways, and he tried to put a stopgap arrangement, and he's working on getting his financial position fixed. And not only that, by segregating your personal and your business money, it is also essential from the tax perspective. So the second thing, another thing from the finance perspective is, obviously for high profits, your profits are a difference between your revenue and your costs. So your revenue, how is it that you can maximize? What is it that you can do about your revenue growth? And, ensure that there's more money coming in. Right, especially during times like this, definitely it's a lot challenging. So what can one do? Let me give you another real life example. So this client of mine is into the recruitment business. And like we know, a lot of recruitment has come to standstill. So what did he do? He did a little out of the box thinking, and he changed his revenue model. By changing his revenue model, he was able to attract more money coming in. He has a set customer base, and all he did was a little tweak to the revenue model, and that resulted in more money coming in, especially during challenging times like these. So all it takes, my friends, is to just do a little out of the box thinking to see what is it that you can do within your capacity, so that can help your business to grow. So these were the main things that I wanted to touch upon: your business performance, leadership performance, and financial performance. So this is my previous book that I had written. It's called What the Finance. It is a bestseller on Amazon, and it has a lot of practical solutions to the common challenges that most entrepreneurs face. And it also has real life finance stories of very successful entrepreneurs. And, I thought it doesn't make sense for everybody to do the same mistakes. And, we might as well learn from each other to see how one can overcome the mistakes and not repeat themselves. So feel free to pick up the copy from Amazon. And of course, my latest book, it's Get High, how to coach yourself for high performance in your work. So it has a lot of tools, tricks, and templates to see how you can get better at what you're doing and to enable yourself to get to the next level of performance. So you can use it for whatever work that you're doing, and that's also available on Amazon. And yesterday was the official book launch, where it was done by some very good corporate guys and few others. It went on very well. I'll share the link with you. It's the talk was very interesting, and it is there on my YouTube channel. I will share that link with you. So yes, I'm very happy to connect with you. These are my coordinates. I also have my YouTube channel. It's called Sangeeta Sum, an abbreviation of my name. So please feel free to subscribe to it. I keep posting, finance mantras and, few other things, everything relating to high performance and high profits. So do watch them at your leisure and hit the subscribe button as well. And I'm happy to connect with you on LinkedIn and other social media platforms. So with that, I'd like to conclude my talk, and I'm happy if, in case you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them for you.
Thank you very much, Sangeeta. That was an excellent high performance talk on how to get high. I request any questions, feel free to ask now, gentlemen. We have another 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, good evening, Giri, and good evening, ma'am. This is Suresh here. I would just like to hear from you. You apply the BLF model to the Flipkart business. Can you just apply it and then explain to us how does it work in the case of
Are
Flipkart?
you running a Flipkart?
No, I just wanted to know.
Right. So see, end of the day, if your business is existing to make money, yes, definitely apply. But if your business is just looking for funding, then the equation totally changes, because most of these startups these days, they have a fad for getting funded, right? So but having said that, if their financial metrics could be different, it might not need not necessarily be profits. They have their own targets, and the number of customers, and different other metrics that go. So end of the day, if for them to achieve that, if that was to be the financial performance that they are looking at and not profits, again the business has to perform to reach those metrics. And to reach those metrics, you need to have good leadership team that can drive it and propel it to achieve. And therefore the BLF becomes important.
No, I was just more looking at it from a financial performance in the sense you are right in the sense when you talked about the key factors. But if you look at it from the financial performance point of view for a company like Flipkart, and they were nowhere near. And how
Yes.
long do you think they can sustain these type of funding only and no profit from the business?
Correct. So that is why they go in for the funding model, right? So once they are able to get these investors on board, then the equation changes. So if you notice, many of the startups these days, they are not profit focused. They want to get enough funding, and then the venture, they just want like 3x returns, whatever, and everybody who's looking for an exit. So in the long term, yes, they may be able to meet the criteria, but again, it depends on what is the financial metrics that they are setting for themselves. So that becomes the key.
Thank you.
Sangeeta, I have a question.
Yeah.
You've been in business for now 30 plus years in manufacturing. Can you, as a coach, after having met multiple business people, small and big, tell me how much of the decision making is emotional and how much of the decision making is rational?
Yes.
Belief is it's very rare rational and mostly emotional. Am I right or am I wrong?
Absolutely right, 100%. So a lot of decisions, be it financial or non-financial, what I have noticed is people tend to make a lot of emotional decisions. And in a way, yes, what I say is we are all humans at the end of the day, and we are driven by emotions, definitely. But the important thing is for us to have the awareness, right? Once you're aware of whether you're taking an emotional decisions, or more importantly from a business perspective, what is the financial implication and financial repercussion of taking such a decision? If one were to just take a moment's pause, step back and think about it, I think that makes a lot of difference. Then your awareness level goes up, and probably you're more geared up for the outcome of such decisions, or might even look at it from a new perspective. So that was very beautiful, lovely question that you asked.
One more rider to that same question.
Yes, please.
If if a business decision was being made by a finance man, and the finance man had actually placed his bets on one particular approach, how difficult is it for the finance man to withdraw from that? Because I think most of the time I have seen people trying to make what they predicted come true rather than look at why, whether it will come true or not. Am I right there?
Lovely again. So with finance people, what I have noticed is they tend to take decisions only based on the finance perspective. They do not look at it from a business perspective. And the decision has to be a good combination of both, right? Because end of the day, what is in the best interest of the business also becomes very important. And by understanding the business functions, and not just purely from the finance angle, by taking a good blend and a holistic view of both, that's when the best decision can be made.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is Raman here. I have a question for you. See, though we say that mostly the entrepreneurs have to delegate their work and authorities or whatever are responsibilities, but eventually the decision making when it comes to almost always in an entrepreneurial setup, invariably the entrepreneur is the one who takes a final decision. So that level of delegation actually does not go down to the go down in the hierarchy. Actually, why is it so? Because that either the people who are associated with that are not willing to give the decision making power to the people, though they say it is delegated.
Right. So the decision making, unless you have a super efficient team who knows the in and out of the business, or somebody who thinks similar to you, decision making alone may or may not be the best thing to delegate, and it becomes very subjective to your business, subjective to you, and subjective to the person to whom you wish to delegate. So if despite that you think it is good to delegate, it's good to have processes set in place. So anybody can just go ahead, look at the processes, the process allow this or not, if there's something set and standard, like say for example giving discounts to the customers, maybe at each level, let's say 2 levels down to you, maybe that person has a discretion to give a maximum of, let's say, 5% discount. Maybe his manager maybe can go up to 7%, and maybe if it's to you, you will still have the flexibility to go to, let's say, a 10 or a 12%, because the ultimate decision is yours, and you may be willing to give that extra discount because you see some further business coming in, or maybe you think the brand is good to have, or maybe it's a extremely good friend. I mean, for whatever reasons. So your decision and your way of thinking may not be the same as the other person. Now, this could be applicable for any of your procurements, any context in the business. So if you were to set the process, then yes, to an extent you can delegate. And if you trust the team that they are capable and efficient of taking the right decisions for financially from the business perspective, definitely you can go ahead and delegate. Else it has to be a very subjective thing, and the decision has to be made on a call, each case to case basis.
Sangeeta, this is Srilata Narayanan here. I have just one more question regarding delegation of responsibility.
Yes.
Now you're talking about delegation in terms of offering discounts and making decisions of that kind. But to what extent would you advise delegation of responsibility where you have to trust a person to do the job that you would, in all probability, do it yourself, but you don't have a choice because you've got to be elsewhere doing something else, and nobody can be in 2 places at the same time.
Absolutely.
Right? And at that point of time, you find that as time moves on, the people you have delegated responsibility to take away your business and move out. So where do you draw the line?
Yes. So firstly, if your team member is capable and efficient, then you can go ahead and delegate the responsibility. If not,
the efficient and capable team member is the one most likely to walk away with your business.
Absolutely, absolutely. But tell me, any business comes with risk from any side. So how can you prevent it, right? You as
I'm
a
not talking about prevention. I'm talking about where would you draw the line?
there is no thumb rule that you have to draw the line here or there, right? Because it varies on how much you want to give away, right? Whether you trust the person, or even if the person, you may trust him now, but tomorrow he may turn against you. But this is what I'm trying to tell you, that this is a risk, and you need to be willing to take this risk as an entrepreneur, because you may want to hold on to some things, which is perfectly fine. But the thing is, does it give you the amount of flexibility that you want, right? So that is the key. Now, if you think you have enough time on you and you are in a position to not let go of it, something that's very important, something that's crucial, definitely hold on to it, right? But if not, you will just have to let go, and that is a risk that you have, that is associated with the business.
This is Shivakumar. I have a question. I'm also a certified coach from TAM and YUM. I don't know whether you heard of those, but I also just wanted to understand how does art of living help you? Because when Ms. Subbu asked, you touched some of aspects at the awareness levels and the,
Right. Yeah.
so how are these things helping you as a coach? Because today coaches also take quite a lot of tensions. Okay, so
Yes.
how you as a person and for art of living is helping you as a coach and also is helping the coachees.
Yes. So I have been into art of living for the last, I think, 15 plus years. And obviously, the reason that I'm, practicing it every single day itself speaks volumes, because that has been a tremendous game changer in my life.
It's
It
very
has
clear.
helped me
Easy
to
to write
de-stress a lot,
it.
and have a
Actually,
lot of calmness, built my immunity, and I mean, various benefits. So the fact that, like I said, that I've been practicing is itself takes a lot. And I think as a coach, how it has helped me is I'm able to, keep my calm, and, not, like in the coaching parlance, they say, you don't take the monkey on your back, right? I think it has helped me tremendously that way. And with my coaches as well, my clients, it has, I think I have been able to give them that sense of calm, and, they feel a lot relaxed when they speak to me. So I think that way it has definitely helped a lot. Are you
Yeah.
also a practitioner of art of living?
I'm a practitioner of Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram.
Excellent. Yeah. I mean, see, yoga, meditation, all of these is, I mean, whichever form you take, I'm sure they're all exceptionally beneficial.
Yeah, I'm Giridharan. um, Happy to see you guiding and training entrepreneurs to do better business. So, how do you exactly help and train entrepreneurs when they want to say no? How do you help them to say no? So, most of the time, learning to say no will help them come out of the challenges that they get into business.
Yes.
Most of the time, they are not able to say no when they want to say no. So, how do you
Correct.
exactly train them?
Yes. So that is not an issue just with the entrepreneurs, but I think most people, wherever, whichever walk of life, whatever they are doing, it's very difficult to say one of the shortest words, no, but the choice is yours. So again, to clarify, I'm not a trainer, so I don't train people. I'm a coach. So as a coach, I only partner with the client and ensure that they achieve whatever results they want to achieve by kindling their thoughts, acting as a sounding board and holding the mirror. So I just enhance their awareness levels, and
Yeah, but the decision making, this is more to do with the decision making. So
yes,
definitely
exactly.
that's a big challenge
Right.
for.
Correct. So I just place things as it is for them. So, as I said, like hold the mirror for them. So when they are able to look at it, then they are able to take better decisions. It's not necessarily just to say a no, or it could be for any financial decision making or anything else. They are able to see and reflect on their thoughts, and thereby able to take the best decision for themselves and for the business.
Thank you.
Hi, Sangeeta. This is Rajshri here. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, it's a very, it's sort of curious. I just want to ask you something. Uh, how many clients at any point of time can you handle it by yourself? And is it a skill where you also have started developing your team, and you're able to pass down the skill? You're able to train people as future, they can coach your clients, or you come in, you pitch it at a time where the decision has to be made. They do the initial screening part of it. How does it work?
So to answer your question, I have, been on my own just from last month. So
Okay.
a little too early to speak that way. But yes, the plan is to have a team so that, I'm able to grow and scale as well. But right now, yes, I'm just working with a handful of people. So it becomes easier to, take them and help them grow.
Best wishes. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Subbu, you had a question.
I have two very short questions.
Sure.
Question number one, for a small, medium business, what is more important? Cash flow, profit?
Cash.
Because it's like a paper boat, you see. If
Yes,
your cash flow is gone, you're washed away.
absolutely.
Looking for profits, sometimes the profit is in the last 5%, which you probably never realize from the bigger guys. Because all the bigger guys, as I have seen in my 33 years, is they are standing on the shoulders of all the smaller guys and looking tall.
Correct.
You will never pay your last 5% or 10%. And if that's your profit, God save you. So cash flow is probably the only one.
Yes.
Next question I had, it's my answer to Giri. Giri, if you are happy making others happy, don't get into business. You will never be able to say no. We are all people who want to see other people happy, and at the end of it, we are all very sad many times. Thank you.
Thanks, PDG.
Sangeeta, I have one question to you, very small question though. We are talking about succession planning, right? In an organization, be it small or medium or large. The challenge here is you identify a person and you say that he is going to be your particular successor to a individual in the organization, which would probably the person would carry an important designation or a role. So now you get into the activity of training that person and developing that person. At one point of time, suddenly the person leaves your organization. What happens at that point of time? What the effort, whatever you have put in, how do you make sure that the succession planning works really?
What happens if the person leaves the world? It's not under our control. I mean, that has also happened many times, right? Because
But
these,
of course, that is left to the fate in terms of, when it comes to whether it be in the world or outside the world, I mean, that is not under our control. But with regard to a person staying in the organization, can we have some sort of a mechanism in place while we have a succession plan in place to retain those people?
right. So firstly, what makes you think it is under your control? And even if it is under your control, you will have to use probably like the carrot and sticks approach, right? So I don't know.
No, possibly the identification of his needs, or rather, why is he leaving? What is the reason for his leaving? Suddenly, after identifying he as a successor, why is he leaving? Is there a mechanism in which we can track the data and ensure that his needs are addressed?
See, very commonly in any business or even in corporates, two of the most common reasons why people leave is, one is they are not happy with their immediate boss. They say people don't change jobs, they change bosses. So it could be the immediate supervisor, or it could be the financial aspect, right? Probably they're not happy with the money, or probably they are getting, extra at another organization, and therefore they want to leave. Of course, apart from this, there could be a host of other things, but primarily it's these two reasons. And because of these two reasons, if you were to look, I don't know, probably I think maybe even 75% of the cases of people who move away is because of this. So the best way is for you to, talk to the person and understand the reality and the truth behind why they are leaving. And you can obviously, see how best you can resolve it for them, if it is resolvable within your capacity, or you just have to let go, because end of the day, you cannot control a person who has decided to move on.
No, by then, the practical problem is that by then it is too late.
Yes.
The problem that I am talking about is how we can arrest it early.
Yes. So probably in the beginning, if you've identified the right talent, it will be good for you to have a conversation in the beginning, show them the big picture, the larger picture, and like probably, I don't know, I'm just throwing examples, maybe to say that they will get some ESOPs, or, whatever is their motivation to stay on. So if you're able to give something like that, so that they are also interested in clinging on to the business for a longer time, then it becomes a win-win both for you and the person. Many times we don't tend to think from the perspective of that other person, what is it that
No, true. But again, the company may not be a company like a ESOP companies. Mostly we are talking about entrepreneurs and SME segments. And these people in the SME segments carry a critical role. So in that perspective, you have other limitations being a SME. So that way, and balancing that with regard to the people leaving after identifying the succession becomes a bigger challenge.
Yes, definitely. So that's why I said you will have to talk to the person and understand what can be their motivation for them to stick on with you, right? So if you were to just step into the shoes of that person and look at it from their perspective, probably that could give a better view for you, because many times most of us as humans, we only look at things from our own perspective. We fail to see what is it that would how would that be from the other person's perspective. So maybe if you were to do a slight shift in perspective, that might help.
One last question, and that's from me.
Yeah.
Can you just repeat the acronym for cash? Yeah.
So C is to collect on time. Whatever money is due to you, whatever the credit period that you've given, if it's 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, ensure that you collect within that time. A is to anticipate your money coming in and money going out, your cash inflow and cash outflow, so that you can make your right financial decisions. S is to systematically monitor, how much is the money that your business has right now at this point in time, because many people, many entrepreneurs, what I've noticed is they are very unsure. So for you to systematically monitor, the amount that you have. And H is the habit of creating reserves.
Oh, that's great. Okay. The last one is what missing in my mind. So anyway,
okay.
Thank you, Sangeeta. It was wonderful, patiently answering quite a bit of questions from our members. Some of them probably still have it unanswered. I guess offline you can take it with them,
sure.
Like Raman. And Ram Prasad, may I request you now formally to felicitate our speaker, give a vote of thanks. Oh, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, President Giri, and what a fantastic evening we had, or should I say, game-tastic evening. We had, thank you, Rotarians and ANS who actively participated and gained more out of the session. And thanks to Sangeeta, our speaker, who was very energetic as usual. I have seen her before, and she displays the same energy, which is called high performance energy. So I saw the entire club high performing today in this session. So Raman, to answer all your questions, you need to hire her as a coach. Okay, that's why she's not giving the answers that openly now. The idea is to
we can have a conversation.
Or alternatively, you can actually get get the book Get High in Amazon, and it is like a workbook. It will help you to solve many of your questions because it has got a nice templates laid out. I've got the copy of the book. I've read through it once, but it's not reading book. It's actually a working book. You need to actually do a lot of exercise so that by the end of the exercise, I'm sure most of your answers will be answered as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. So it was a fantastic evening, and
we'll have an opportunity to go through that. Thank you. We'll do.
Yeah. Thanks, Raman, and thanks, Rotarians and ANS, for turning in good numbers. Thank you, Devi Krishna, for being a guest and participating. And it was really a wonderful evening we had, full of interaction. And thanks, one and all, for the high performance session.
Thank you. I look forward to hearing from all of you after you read the book Get High. And definitely any coaching requirements, please do get in touch with me.
Thank you, Ram Prasad. Wonderful words of appreciation for our speaker. So where all good things, we need to come to a momentary end. So this interesting speaker meeting, obviously it's kind of coming to a very nice end, and with people carrying back certain thoughts, the food for thought. Let's go get high by going through the workbook which he has recommended. So I, gentlemen, formally, this meeting of Rotary Club of Madras is adjourned.
1959, 19 hours, 59 minutes.
Yeah.
I compliment you for concluding the meeting at 8 o'clock.
All right.
Thank you very much. Half an hour of IPL is gone, but doesn't matter.
Anyway, no high on IPL with CSK down, right? So.
It's okay. They can spoil somebody's party today, so it's okay.
Thank you, gentlemen. Ladies.
Thank you, and enjoy your.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Sangeeta.
Sangeeta, is there any discount on the books?
Wonderful.
If you buy in bulk from me, definitely yes.
Oh, super. Let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of bulk corporate orders, so
So,
definitely.
yeah, whoever wants, let's place an order with Bhaskar.
Yes.
Please take it forward.
And it will be a good gift for Diwali as well
Okay.
for your
Yeah.
client.
So any discount we need, let's place the order with Bhaskar. He will do it in bulk for us. With Sangeeta.
And
Sangeeta,
what
what's
one
your next books?
and one bottle of bong will be free along with the book.
Sangeeta, what is the price of the book?
It's 300.
300. The other one, the financial one, what is the price?
350.
350. Okay.
Yeah.
Sangeeta, what's your the third book's name of the book? Which
Only
got
2
launched
books.
yesterday?
Only 2
I've
books.
actually written 4 books.
Okay.
One is an audio book. It's a free download from Audible app. That is called The Power of High Performance Coaching. That is a free download. My first book is a spiritual thriller. It's called A Glance at the Unknown. The other book is called What the Finance, which is the best-selling book. And Get High has just been launched.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
So probably the next one will be Get Higher.
Yes.
Already sequel is ready, actually. Wonderful.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sangeeta. Pleasure.
so
Really
much.
enjoyed your session.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Good luck to you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you,
Logging
Giri.
out.
Thanks, Giri.
Hey, Nandu, how are you, man? Nandu, how are you? Good.
Boss. Mama. Thanks, Mama.
Hey, Raja.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, கண்ணாடி போட்டு பெரிய கண்ணாடியா இருக்கும் மூஞ்சிக்கு.
இப்போ கரெக்ட்டா இருக்கா?
ஓகே.
இப்போக்காக வந்துட்டேன் மத்தியா கரெக்ட்டா மீட்டிங்க்கு.
ரொம்ப நல்ல சமத்துமா. Really good boy. Really.
Thank you, bye.
Bye. All right, thank you. Take care. Thank you, Captain.
One major takeaway is everybody likes to work under a happy boss, right?
Yeah.
The chief happiness officer. Now I know where I got the cue from. Keep people happy, they won't leave your organization.
Yeah. True. Good. See the company happiest minds.
Mama, nobody will leave your organization, Mama. You're a happy guy. You'll take care of everybody well. Nandu, unada solra. Good.
Great, yeah. Thank you, Silverman. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye all.
Nandu.
Bye.
Call பண்ணிட்டேன். Okay, end பண்ணிட்டோமா மீட்டிங்?
Yes, please. Yeah.